Welcome back to the R.D.C. show. Richard,
Derek,
Right. Chris.
special guest Brian's back. I just wanted to start this week. Last week, one of the main topics was I was not a terrorist. I just felt if I was going to tell you people that, I should give you a little insight into who I am. I'm basically just your average everyday American. I'm a father. I work 60 hours a week to pay the bills. I love the Detroit Lions. I love the Incredible Hulk. And I love watching The Walking Dead. Basically, life isn't as great as it could be, but I still love it because I got lots of great friends and lots of good family. So, I guess that was about it on that. Now we're going to go straight into the hot topics of the week. I'd like to start out by saying, please stop all the retarded killing. Chicago, people are dying left and right. All kinds of guns, violence. The Batman movies being held up still. A couple of them were held up. And I don't know if anybody was hurt in those ones, but they were held up. Was anybody shot in those ones? I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I know that people got arrested, but I don't
Yeah, I
know
think they
if
just held them up, tried to steal all the money.
Yeah.
yeah, that's just stupid, man.
What do you think about all that violence going on everywhere, Derek?
I don't know. I think it's a bunch of nonsense, man. People just trying to get recognized for no reason, you know. It's annoying, basically. Because people don't know how to act out there.
I think it's what they want. I think they
Well,
want.
it is.
The more that the poor attack each other over every little thing, the better off we're
That's
not
what
paying
the higher
attention
ups want.
to what's going on in the country.
So what other rich people want to happen?
Because why else would there be so much gun violence in Chicago and so many deaths, kills? It's just out of hand. Of course, you hear about it because it's always the right-wing people talking about, look at all the violence in the president's hometown.
Yeah, Chicago.
Why is everything Chicago?
It's
related
happening in
since
New
he's the
York,
president?
too.
Yeah, I know.
Horribly.
But
LA.
look at how they
Go to
talk
LA.
about the politics. It's Chicago-style politics. Like
It's a machine.
There was never New York-style politics. But
It's all a fucking machine, isn't it? Fucking ridiculous, man. It just doesn't make sense, man. How they can just...
Often that kind of
Yeah,
thing, you know, whether it's gun violence, drug abuse, child abuse, you know, domestic assault, that kind of thing. That kind of stuff follows poverty around, like, you know.
yeah,
So,
people are pushed to the brink of starving.
I think that one of the reasons for the spike in violence might be just because of how bleak things look right now, and people are feeling trapped. More and more people are feeling trapped, and you know they feel like they're in a treadmill, and they're not going anywhere. And you know, I can relate to that feeling, although I still always have hope for a better day.
I guess what I would wish for is our poor people today would be more like the poor people of '69. You know, just the hippie era. Those poor people didn't kill each other and have violence. They just stood up against the government, but they stood together as a unit. Today, somehow they've been able to switch that, where we no longer trust our neighbors like that anymore. And we have to have
force-fed
guns.
fear all the time.
Force-fed all the time.
It's
all
just
the fucking time.
the radio, the TV, the newspaper. Everything's telling you that everybody's going to kill you.
And is it real?
I don't know. They said that
It's hard to tell
the
what's
crime
real.
percentage of violent crime dropped, but the percentage of coverage went up like 300%. So we see more of it, but it actually occurs less frequently.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's
man.
that's perception that people have. There's a lot of things out there that I think that most people have a really bad idea. You know, they follow
a bad perception.
Yeah,
on something.
it's just not right.
Yeah, it blows some out of proportion, huh?
Well, it's just like, look at the president of Venezuela there, Chavez. How many times have you seen on the news where he's an evil dictator and this, that, and the other thing, and he's just killing people left and right? People, you should watch Oliver Stone's documentary, South of the Border. And then see what he really is. He is a man who has won 13 elections.
Consecutive
the poor people stood up for him and fought for him. He goes in and touches them. And just walks through the ghetto hugging them. But that's like my brother was saying about the perception.
You can see our
They can make
president
you.
doing that
They make
shit.
you think he's a bad person, so we think that without ever knowing anything.
Yeah.
I always heard he was an evil dictator till I watched that documentary and realized he was no dictator at
No
all.
dictator
He
at
didn't
all.
go in there and take over with a gun. He won 13 times by
Elections.
election, more democratic probably than we have in this country.
Yeah.
But if they can make you scared of your neighbors or scared of the guy
And
down
we
the
don't
street,
know.
One of the things that I think is remarkable
I don't
about that
fucking
is
know.
that a lot of, I guess you might call them right-wing nuts, gun nuts, are so afraid and so attached to their firearm that they believe that that is the only way to stop subjugation of the American people. And I got bad news for you. That gun ain't gonna stop it. The American people have already been subjugated.
Right.
oh
We've been
yeah,
indoctrinated, and you know that basically the reality that they present us is what most accept as the truth, when in fact it's not. It's just a perspective
The
that
United States
you're
is an
given.
empire.
Yeah, they got
Fucking
everybody
empire.
fighting against each other, like you guys said. You know, we all look at each other and try to find a difference. And having lived in an all-white neighborhood for part of my life, I can tell you that the same type of people who would separate us because of color of skin, when there is absent any other color of skin, they find another reason to separate
Right.
us. So
Exactly.
oh yeah.
that's a mentality that has really nothing to do with the color of skin, even though that's made to be the biggest focus of
We're
it
all
all.
fucking human.
Right.
God damn it.
They like to bring things up like race and keep it alive because
Yeah.
it keeps us fighting
The
amongst each
media
other.
always
But
brings
really,
that shit up. We don't bring it up.
race wouldn't be around if they didn't keep bringing it up. How many people are raised racist today?
Right.
Whether you're black,
you see
white,
it in the media.
brown,
One of the
or
things I
anything.
found is that the people who are usually the most vocal about racism are often themselves the most racist people.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They are.
Yeah.
They're the most biased anyway. And if you want to call that racism, then I would call it racism.
Yeah.
And I can tell you
I
that
would.
as a white person, I have been on the negative side of racism, where
Yeah.
it was I was being,
Confronted.
well, not necessarily that, but I was being excluded or
Oh.
whatever because of my color, not because of any other reason.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you right now, there's certain places where somebody that looks
Oh, it
like
happens.
me, no matter
Happens.
how down with the homies you are, you should not be in that area because
Right.
you don't belong there.
Well, it happens on both sides, but that's what I'm saying. They keep it that way. They keep the black hating the white, and they keep the white hating the black.
Yeah.
They still talk like the man is got them down. That's what they still think. That's their mentality. But the man is the same guy that's holding the white people down.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's not. It's not a
Holding
different guy
everybody
anymore.
down.
Back when in the 60s, 70s, and 50s, through that era, it was a black-white issue.
Yeah.
White people did get more respect and get better jobs than black people, but today it's not that way anymore.
Yeah.
Today it's the poor
Asians,
versus the
whites,
rich.
blacks.
If you
But it
can't
always has
get the
been.
money, well, yeah, it always has been, but now it's more apparent than ever.
Yeah.
Because
This is all racist.
there's no reason for black people to hate white people anymore, or whites to hate blacks. They live in the same neighborhood as us, same shitty houses. They got the same life we do.
The first
Their
great
life ain't no better
democracy
than ours, and ours ain't no better than
of
theirs.
Western civilization is often referred to as Rome, and the Romans.
Yeah.
And one of their terms
Empire.
was divide and conquer, and that's exactly what that has always been.
Oh yeah,
The government.
yeah.
It's been divide and conquer. It's to keep us separated for one reason or another, so that it's easier to,
And pretty soon the people are gonna have enough, and that shit's gonna fall, like every fucking
It
empire.
it might not. They've been holding steady for a long time.
Shit, they're gonna crumble on themselves.
Right now, they can pretty much do anything they want to anybody.
They're gonna crumble on themselves, man, because people are gonna get really pissed off at them.
We hope they do. We need people to. We need
Yeah.
people to come together like
And
they
I'd
did
be
in the
scared
60s
and
and the
shit.
hippie era and unite and don't worry about if this guy's a Black Panther or this guy's
Yeah,
uh,
and it's fucking
a
gang
honky or
shit.
whatever,
Yeah.
That kind of shit needs to end. We need to come together and be. If we're poor,
one.
if you're poor, you need to watch out for the guy next to lives next to you because no one else is gonna watch out for him. I watch out for all my people, and they all got my back, and I got their back, even though I don't know half my neighbors around here, but they live the same life I do.
Right.
Same, hanging by scraps.
Yeah.
If you're in that,
If shit were to break out, dude, this area would be your fucking base and everybody around it.
If you have to hate your neighbors for any reason other than them being total asses and trying to break into your house, it's just sad. But that's the way America is made, is a perception. He's a Democrat, so don't like him. Oh, he's a Republican. Oh, he's
Right.
an evil lib. I can't talk to that guy. I mean, they keep bringing up all this name calling all the time. And like you said, they find so many ways to keep us separated so they can control us. Because if we're not together, we're not paying attention to what's going on.
That's one of those things that I think is really remarkable about the armed services is that it's one place where you actually get by on your merit.
Do they really?
That's what the perception is, and as best I can tell from an outsider as a civilian and someone who's never served, that's the perception that I get, is that it is one of those places where you're only bound by your own limitations, and I don't know about the upper echelons.
Then shouldn't everybody be actually registered in the army, and then just do your own thing?
Well,
Not necessarily have to go to war, but
I don't know about that, but
that's
one
the best
unique
research.
thing that
Isn't that the best research for
look
your
at
country?
it on a battlefield point of view, from soldiers to soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you might have a redneck southerner sitting in a foxhole with a New York black guy, right?
Yeah.
All right. At that point in time, their differences don't mean shit,
No.
because
the
I know
enemy
that sees them both as Americans, and they say, "Why should we see each other any differently? Because we should see each other the same way the enemy does, right?" Yeah. But you take that,
take that fear away of being invaded or being killed by somebody else because you're not American, and they get us separated by filling us a hate for other things. Like, he's a Democrat, he's an evil lib, he's this, he's that.
So they treat the actual people of the country
somehow
worse
we
than
gotta
they do
figure out,
their own military.
Somehow we got to figure out how to make the American people see it that way.
Right.
And see that it really is a full-scale war against class warfare, and it is being fought by the upper class against its subjects.
Both
it has
parties.
been for
Both
fucking
parties.
centuries. It's been this
Both
way.
parties.
Centuries. Long before America was even a nation, this type of government, or if you want to call it that, has been, and it is. It's the upper class at war, and somehow we got to make everybody who's in our position realize that we need to stop looking at each other differently,
that's what I'm trying to
and
say.
realize that they don't see us any differently.
Yeah,
We're all the enemy. We're all their pawns they can use over and over again. Whether it's Brian working at a gas station, us delivering parts, Derek working on printers.
I don't want to sound anybody to take this the wrong way, but I mean, I got to put this out there, and I said the problems of Black America really aren't my problem directly. All right,
No one's problem.
But I understand that it's a means to an end. That if they're allowed to have rules and stuff against them and make them less of a citizen, that could be me. You know, so I have to
exactly.
You should stand up for that, whether you believe in it or not, whether it's for you or not. You should stand up for it because it's human right type of issue. I'm not saying that would make me, I don't know.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take one quick commercial. We'll be right back.